At a new high. We have news of another terror attack. At least 15 dead in a blast at a Shiite mosque in Kuwait. And ISIS is claiming responsibility. There is indeed a terror attack in France. One worker beheaded, one suspect arrested, and he had been on France's terror watch list. There is also an attack on a beach in a resort area of Tunisia where 27 people have been killed. That's the latest body count. We don't know their nationalities yet, but two gunmen with Kalashnikovs opened fire on the beach. Judge Andrew Napolitano is here. Question: what can we do legally for surveillance of our domestic Muslim population?
Irrespective of suspicion about individuals, you're talking about surveilling them just because they're Muslim, or
Yes.
because there is reason to suspect an individual is involved in something?
Well, you get mosques. Can we just go to a mosque? Can the authorities go to a mosque and surveil that mosque without being told previously there's a terrorist in there?
Do you mean, can they put surveillance equipment inside the mosque without the permission of the mosque? The answer is no.
Okay.
They could do so with a search warrant, but a search warrant would require evidence presented to a judge.
Okay. If someone comes and says, this preacher, this imam, in this particular mosque, he's been saying some radical things, can we then go in and have the FBI just sit in the congregation and listen?
The answer is no, without a warrant, but I suspect that the FBI does that. That is a rather benign way to gather information, where FBI agents go undercover and hold themselves out quietly, not in a showy way, as being a part of the community, just so they can be there. The reason I'm a little like walking on eggs on this is
Yes.
because the statutes that authorize prosecution for providing material assistance to terrorist organizations, pardon me, all have an exception in them for freedom of speech. So if all the imam is doing is saying, do this, do that, these people are bad, these people are horrible, shoot, kill, do this, it's speech. It's not criminal.
Really?
Yes. It's only speech. That's not just me. That's the statute, and that's the Supreme Court's. That's the Supreme Court and speech.
Could we collect the names of the people listening to that imam?
That would require a search warrant, and that would require evidence of a crime, and the speech alone is not a crime. Here's the rule on speech. You'll appreciate this because it comes from that document signed in Runnymede 800 years ago. I speak of the Magna Carta.
Right.
All innocuous speech is absolutely protected, and all speech is innocuous when there is time for more speech to rebut or neutralize it. So if the imam says, there's so-and-so, let's get her, and the crowd descends on so-and-so, there's no time for more speech to rebut it. The speech can be prosecuted. If the imam says, there's so-and-so, let's get her, and somebody else says, that's an unwise thing to do, we're here just to express ideas, not to harm people, the imam's speech is protected.
Gotcha. I really want to move on to another subject from California. The news is that the governor, I'm not sure whether he signed it or not yet, the California people are saying, you've got to have your kids vaccinated. And if you don't have the kids vaccinated, they can't go to school.
You know, last time
where are we?
The last time I checked, the Constitution of the United States still applies in California. And the First Amendment to the Constitution has the two religion clauses, the Establishment and the Free Exercise Clause. The Free Exercise Clause basically saying if you have religious objections to the administration of a vaccine to your child, those trump the wishes of the state. Beyond that, there's the fundamental right to bear and beget, to conceive and to raise children. And the government cannot interfere with that. So the government cannot force your child to be vaccinated. It can say an unvaccinated child may not go to a public school, then you homeschool the kid, but it cannot force chemicals into the child's veins against the wishes of the parents. And that's the law even in California.
Even in California. Terrible. Judge, thank you very much indeed. Forgive me.